It's undeniable. If you look at movies, you can see stunts happening all the time, especially if you look at blockbuster films or if you are a martial arts film aficionado like me. As a child, I loved watching action sequences, especially the ones by Jackie Chan or even my good old compatriot friend Jean-Claude Van Damme. The fact that I'm from Belgium and he's from Belgium too had me dreaming of one day coming to America and doing the exact same thing as him. Lo and behold, at 18 I actually followed my dream and literally moved to Los Angeles. You see, I started doing martial arts at around 13 in the hopes of getting the splits like my idol. Yep, I'm sure I'm not the only one who did this. So inevitably, once I was in America, I thought to myself, how wonderful would it be to actually do action movies? So I started taking a bunch of gymnastic classes and was trying to film as many choreographed martial art fights as possible. I was literally obsessed, and every time I passed in front of a location, I'd look at it and go, man, wouldn't this be a cool place to do an action sequence in? Being young and full of energy, this meant that training was 6-7 days a week, and even when I was in my downtime, all I did was train even more. I guess people could say I was obsessed. That being said, at one point or another, stuntman became something that I could easily see myself doing. Quickly, I learned that you kind of have to choose if you want to do acting or stunts. Both of these jobs take an enormous amount of time, and once you are known to do something, well, you kind of get known for that, so transitioning from one to the other is difficult. In my acting career, I did a little over 2 years where I really just focused on stunt work. This gave me jobs as a stunt coordinator on a couple of low-budget indie films and gave me the opportunity to do stunts on a couple of other films. The whole experience was extremely positive, but it also gave me the insight to how much I loved acting more and also how demanding it was on one's body. So in the end, I told myself that I needed to focus on acting and that I would just do action if it was as an action actor. So if you're thinking of getting into stunts, you should understand and take a couple of things into consideration before attempting it. Number one, it's really physical. Stunts always look amazing on film, or if you watch them on stage, but once you actually try to do a move, it may not be as fun as it seems. Stunts are kind of like running a marathon. Watching someone run is simple, but actually doing it takes a ton of mental strength. You have to be in super good shape. Somebody can't just jump into it and expect to be able to perform a stunt correctly. Some people may watch people simply running through the streets or doing a simple fall and think, I could easily do that. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could get union rate to simply do that? Yes, not all stunts are difficult, but are you able to do it 10 to 15 times without hurting yourself? Stuntmen will have to do intense stretching, a ton of fight choreography training, and train various skills before being able to achieve what they want to achieve. It actually looks easy because they make it look easy. You might be able to take a hard fall on a gymnastics mat, but doing it on concrete is a completely different thing. One thing to take into consideration before even attempting stunts is that doing stunts is a dangerous job where you can get seriously injured or even lose your life. Look at the stunt performer Olivia Jackson, who almost lost her life and had to get her arm amputated from doing a stunt on the 2016 movie Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. Poor safety practice on set led her to getting injured. Movies are doing bigger and bigger stunts. With higher stakes comes bigger risk. Number two, it's not easy to get into. There are similarities between acting and stunts, but one thing that people need to understand is that you cannot simply get into stunts because you want to do stunts. Yes, there are auditions for stunt work, especially if there is some form of acting involved, but mostly people get hired by referral. A stunt coordinator usually is able to call people that he trusts and hire them to do the job. This means that if you are new in town, it doesn't really matter how good you are because you just don't have the connections. It's true that even the acting world is very much dependent on whom you know, but I think the whole stunt world is even more dependent on that. This means that in order to book work, you need to get yourself seen. The best thing to do is to hit up as many stunt gymnastic gyms in your area and simply train with the people there. If you see people rehearsing fight scenes or stunts, try to approach them and get to know them. Collaborate with these people as much as possible. If you are skilled at what you do, eventually people will take notice. Of course, especially if you are in a location such as Los Angeles, you can wake up at the crack of dawn, drive around downtown LA, or figure out where they are filming stuff, crash the set and ask to talk to the stunt coordinator. It does happen that they need stunt performers on the day of, and they can hire you on the spot. Do a good job for them and the stunt coordinator can put you on his roster of people to call. Getting good at specific things such as high falls, car driving, bike riding, horseback riding, or even weapons will give you a leg up because this will give you more of a niche market specialty where the stunt coordinator will have to call you because there are less choices to take from these pools of skills. Number 3, train as much as you can. If you're really serious about this line of work, you must train hard and become the best at what you are specializing in. Take stunt classes and film as many fight scenes or stunts as you can. Luckily, we live in an age where everybody has a camera, be it on your phone or a simple DSLR camera. This means that if you are training, you are most likely surrounded by a ton of people who love doing stunts the same way that you are fascinated by them. This is a good thing because now you can create a ton of projects where you can film short fight scenes incorporating a bunch of stunts. With that, you can actually build a reel which can showcase what you can do. Before being able to perform in the big leagues, you need to do work outside of the big movies so that you can gain experience to actually do the stunts properly once on set. I always say safety first. You never want to accept a stunt job that you aren't comfortable doing. This is why stunt coordinators will always be very reluctant in taking people that they do not know and trust. If you get injured on set, the production will end up spending more money and ultimately could even get shut down temporarily. Time is money, and also the safety of the performers is usually the #1 priority for you as a stunt performer. We're talking about longevity here. It's better to say no to performing a certain stunt if you don't feel comfortable doing it than performing it but being so hurt by it that you can't even stand up anymore. In the end, it's really up to you if you want to be in stunts. It's a very physically demanding job that is necessary to films, which is also why it's very infuriating why they don't have a nomination for stunts at the Oscars. But I won't get into that in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Please subscribe to this channel. I have many more videos coming soon. And be sure to also hit that like button. Come on, you know you want to. Think of it like that big red button in movies. Who can resist hitting the big red button? Just hit that like button, okay? Well, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.